Hello and welcome to Tony's Bonsai. This is a Chinese elm that I purchased earlier this year, worked on a few months ago, and I'm ready to take some wire off. First of all, let's take a look at the tree. After I initially got this, I grew it indoors for a few months. It did very healthily, grew lots of new shoots, but I repotted it into a much larger pot and got it outside. The leaves went a little bit brown when it first went outside. I think I put it out probably a month too early, but it's doing fine. It's bounced back, and I think it's about time to get the wire off this branch, which is going to be the main trunk in the future. I used a fairly thick gauge of aluminium wire. I think it's 5mm to bend this branch into a downward position for the future design, but before it bites in, I need to get this off. That wire was quite tricky to get off, but I've managed to remove it. No breakages or anything like that, which is great. Now I want to go through the tree sort of a branch at a time, deciding whether or not to keep it, whether to let it grow, or whether to prune them back. So I'm going to start with this one on the inside here. Although the main tree is down here as the wind swept, I'm planning at some point on doing an air layer up here and using this top section as a second tree. And bearing that in mind, I don't see this kind of awkward branch, which is straight and comes down, as being part of that design. So this one may as well go at this stage. I cut it off and left a stump. Now that I can see what I'm doing, I can go in there and make a nice clean cut. Right, that branch is gone. So we've got the main trunk down in this direction. And we've got this branch that comes over here, and this will not be in the final design. There's zero chance. So some people might be tempted to remove this, but my thinking is I'll leave this on as a sacrificial branch to help thicken this section here. And that'll help to add taper to the overall design in the end. So I won't be doing any pruning on that at all, apart from just cutting a couple of the branches back, just to get them out of the way. But apart from that, I just leave that now to grow and hopefully add energy and thickness to this section of trunk. That's this area dealt with, and as I said earlier, because I want to thicken this piece and turn this into the new trunk, I won't prune anything at all off all of that section. So the next job is to look higher up. At this stage, there's quite a big temptation to think about designing the top of the tree for this future bonsai once I remove the air layer. I'm not going to do the air layer now. That'll be a job for next spring. I still want all this canopy to go down, help develop some girth on the trunk and develop the root system. But what I do want to do is look at these branches and make sure that they're not shading out, particularly this branch here, because this is the one I really want to grow well. As you can see, I've just rotated the tree round, and this is the main trunk that I want to develop. So I want to make sure that all of these branches in here get as much light as possible. So what I don't want are branches like this here, potentially casting a shadow over them. So there's not a lot to be removed, but just anything that, like this one here, this could cast a shadow. And that's just freed this area up now. So there's nothing obstructing the light. It can be really healthy and vigorous. And this has got another 12 months now to just kind of hopefully explode with growth. Chinese elm root really readily from cuttings, so these bits that I've cut off I'm going to stick in some bonsai soil and water, and they should hopefully develop into little trees in their own right. I'll probably come back to this tree in a couple of months when hopefully it's put lots of new growth out and I can again prune it back. But great fun working on this tree. Some people have a bad opinion about Chinese elms because of that sort of classic, you know, it's a contrived S shape. But as a species, they're lovely to work on. And yeah, I'm finding this great fun. As always, thanks for joining me. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.